So, Blu-ray is pretty old now. I am pretty sure it came out in like 2013 or 14. Still going, but I mean, now it's basically just, well, digital or streaming now, but Blu-ray's still going alongside its actual, um, I'm quite serious about this. Blu-ray is still being made, despite the fact that the people that made Blu-ray, Sony, I've actually made a new format that's not Blu-ray anymore. I don't get it. Or I don't get what they're doing here. I mean, yeah, DVDs, regular DVDs, continued for a really long time, even alongside Blu-rays, but they eventually fell out once Blu-rays became very popular. And but now Sony, basically the only people that have DVDs being made right now, I mean Blu-ray discs, have made a new format. I don't know why I'm talking about this now, as this format isn't actually new anymore. But I just decided to talk about it because it's just really, it's just frustrating. What do you want to do here? I don't understand this. I mean, sure, DVDs went alongside Blu-rays, but I mean that wasn't supposed to be the case. You see, HD DVDs were supposed to go along with side with Blu-rays in competition, not regular DVDs. Why did the HD DVDs fail? Well, they were not, and I repeat, not supported by a lot of brands. HD DVDs weren't supported by a lot of brands, but mostly because it was pretty hard to get them to actually accept your offer to put a movie on their format. I'm not sure why they did this, but they thought, well, since Sony, the people that made Blu-ray, are basically letting everyone put movies on their thing, we should only limit it or just not accept a whole lot of them. That was a huge mistake, not letting many movie studios put movies on your format or limiting the movies that you did want on your format. That is a horrible mistake to make. So, and so basically no one bought an HD DVD player. Because I mean, Blu-ray had a lot more movies, even at the time that it was out, with HD DVDs, which was around 2013-14. Um, so of course you're going to buy the better format, Blu-ray, because it has a lot more that you can watch. Why would you buy an HD DVD player and HD DVDs if you can't watch that much on it, right? I mean, sure, the odd format will appear here and there, but I mean, and sometimes people will buy these because, I mean, it's new. You might think that it will gain traction and, they'll make a whole lot of movies for it, but HD DVDs never really did. I mean, Blu ray had a lot of kind of quirks going for it. I mean, you could get a 3D Blu ray disc and you could get the 3D glasses for it, and you could have a 3D experience in your home without the red and blue tinted glasses of the past. That was pretty cool, but of course, that only lasted for a couple years in Blu ray's life, and considering that it's still going, that is a pretty short time. Um, so when you bought a 3D Blu-ray disc, you had to get a 3D Blu-ray player and a 3D TV. The likelihood of you being able to get all three of those at the time, or even now, is pretty low, considering they don't even sell 3D I mean, I think they do sell 3D TVs anymore, but I mean, they do. I don't think they even sell 3D Blu-ray players anymore, or the glasses, because it just kind of failed spectacularly. I can only think of a few movies that were released on the 3D Blu-ray format, And yes, it was technically its own format because it was different than the regular Blu-ray disc, as I it it sometimes wouldn't be able to play in a regular Blu-ray player, or just wouldn't, period. Because I mean, you had an option on the Blu-ray disc. There was two options. You could watch the 2D version without the glasses, or the 3D version with the glasses. This version would only work in the 3D Blu-ray player, so well, to my knowledge, it would only work in the 3D Blu-ray player. I never really tested it on a regular Blu-ray player because I didn't have a regular Blu-ray player at the time. I had a 3D one. But so that was pretty cool while it lasted. But HD DVDs, what did they have? Not much. I mean, they had Microsoft support to put it on the Xbox 360, but I mean, the Xbox 360 already had a normal DVD drive, so you're just buying this external drive, and then you've got to buy specifically HD DVDs, which they only made for a couple of years. Because, like I said, it was not very supported. Mostly because of the main company that made its fault. But, I mean, HD DVDs were basically just regular DVDs. I mean, they were just upped in performance by getting rid of some things that were on regular DVDs. They got rid of special features, which didn't really make sense. And sometimes if the HD DVD did have special features, it would be on another disc, which also didn't make sense because that was only a thing that was supposed to happen early on in the original DVD's life, as they didn't quite get the handle on how to fit all that data onto one disc. Yeah. In fact, some 3D regular DVDs at the time didn't even have the option on one disc for 3D or 2D. You had to have two discs, one with 2D and one with 3D. But HD DVDs failed because of a lack of support, for players, and expensive players for the format itself. And not that many stores wanting to sell the HD DVDs because, well, they can't really sell that many of them if they don't have that many movies on them, can they?